commentary channel. Now, again, apologies for the glare on my glasses. My advice is don't look at me. I can't do anything about the lighting. I'm not this big production company. I'm a pensioner with a little LOGI camera. So I don't have lighting. There's nowhere else in my house. I'll just show you. Come with me and you can see. See behind me? There's nowhere else. It's a 1-bedroom. See right in there? There's nowhere else I can put this. So what you get is what you get. But anyway, I was watching a YouTube channel the other day, and this YouTube channel was discussing the latest UAP that had been released, and saying that to him it looks like a whole heap of balloons. Now, I watched this yesterday. He only came out with this yesterday. I myself had saw the jellyfish UAP the day before, and when I uploaded that night my paranormal, I said to me it looks like it was a man with a jetpack. Now apparently this jellyfish UAP is supposed to be submerged in water, but we haven't yet seen that video. So for this guy who I saw on YouTube, it to him is a bunch of balloons, because at the time there was an Islamic festival with lighted balloons. To me, it looks like it's a man with a jetpack. And if you actually look at the end of the video, the guy is actually, the UFO, when it's flying over, there are a couple of people walking underneath, and it's quite low. Why didn't these people notice it? Jeremy Corbell says it was because it was taken infrared. I'm not buying it. I have seen UFOs and they look like flying saucers, okay? So I'm not buying it. But anyway, this YouTube channel, who the guy studies a lot of stuff like at Skinwalker Ranch, so he's a believer. And anyway, he decided to have, during his YouTube channel, a talk on the phone with GPT, and his GPT on the phone is answered him straight on the phone, and for him, he has it in a female voice. For me, GPT is a male. So I've gone to GPT, and I'm going to just change my computer screen. Excuse me for a minute. And this is what I said. So bear with me. I said, my first question, what relationship do you see between UFOs and it being interdimensional or from a spiritual plane? ChatGPT says, the connection between UFOs and interdimensional or spiritual phenomena is a topic that has been explored in various ways, often within the realm of speculative and fringe theories. It's important to note that the scientific community generally approaches UFO sightings with skepticism and focuses on natural or man-made explanations rather than attributing them to interdimensional or spiritual origins. However, some individuals and groups propose alternative explanations that involve interdimensional beings or spiritual entities piloting these unidentified craft. These perspectives often draw on ideas from metaphysics, ancient mythology, or historic beliefs. Here are a few points that some proponents of these ideas may emphasize. Number 1, higher consciousness or spiritual beings. Welcome to my co-host here, if you can see her. Some suggest that UFOs could be manifestations of higher consciousness or spiritual beings visiting Earth. This perspective often ties in with beliefs in extraterrestrial intelligence that is more advanced, both technology and spiritually. Sorry, there goes my co-host. Number 2, interdimensional travel. Certain theories propose that UFOs might not be physical spacecraft from distant planets, but rather interdimensional entities that can move between different planes of existence. This idea is sometimes linked to concepts from quantum physics and parallel universe. Number 3, ancient astronauts and mythology. Some argue that UFO sightings are not a recent phenomenon and may have been occurring throughout human history. Proponents of this view often interpret ancient myths and religious texts as describing encounters with advanced beings or vehicles that could be considered similar to modern UFO sightings. It's crucial to approach these ideas with a critical mindset, as they often lack empirical evidence and scientific support. The majority of UFO sightings can be explained by natural phenomena, misidentification of conventional objects, or atmospheric phenomena, while the question of extraterrestrial life is a legitimate scientific inquiry. Linking UFOs to interdimensional or spiritual entities falls outside the mainstream scientific consensus. So then I say, given the fact there has been material evidence and or expert witnesses to the authenticity of the UFO phenomena, what is your opinion? Let us, for argument's sake, say the phenomena is real. Now, for me, they cannot be physical or come from outer space because they defy the law of physics. The G-forces some UFOs are said to do are also believed to destroy a physical body. What do you think? If this is ET, how do you explain this fact of G-force, etc.? Chat GPT answers. The UFO phenomena, as reported by witnesses and supported by some material evidence, remains a complex and controversial subject. While there are credible reports from military personnel, pilots, and other witnesses, the interpretation of these phenomena varies widely. It's important to distinguish between the existence of UFOs and attributing their origin to extraterrestrial intelligence or interdimensional beings. If we entertain the idea that some UFOs are real and not easily explainable by convention means, there are multiple hypotheses and opinions on these phenomena vary. Number 1, advanced technology. Some propose that UFOs represent highly advanced, possibly extraterrestrial technology that operates beyond our current understanding of physics. These hypotheses often invoke ideas like anti-gravity propulsion or other exotic technologies that could explain the observed maneuvers. Number 2, natural phenomena or misidentification. Not all UFO sightings necessarily involve alien spacecraft. Many instances can be attributed to natural phenomena, atmospheric anomalies, military aircraft, or other conventional explanations. Misinterpretations or optical illusions can also play a role. Number 3, interdimensional or spiritual explanations. As you mentioned, some theories suggest that UFOs might have interdimensional origins or be the manifestations of spiritual entities. These ideas often draw on speculative interpretation of physics or metaphysical concepts. Regarding your specific concerns about the effects of high G-forces on physical bodies, it's a valid point. If some UFOs are operating in a way that involves extreme accelerations, it raises questions about the occupant's potential survival. This is often cited as an argument against the extraterrestrial hypothesis. If we assume these crafts are piloted by extraterrestrial beings, some speculate that these beings might have adapted to or developed technology that mitigates the effects of high G-forces. Alternatively, they may use some form of non-biological entity or even artificial intelligence to pilot these craft. And again, GPT says it's important to approach the topic with an open but critical mind. Scientific investigation and analysis should be conducted rigorously to determine the nature of these phenomena. The field is complex and a variety of factors contribute to the challenges in understanding and explaining UFO sightings. I'm coming back. My first UFO experience was when I was a baby. Now, I didn't see this. I was with my aunt and father. My father was a truck driver and he drove from England to Wales, and one time in the middle of the night a huge flying saucer was stopped in the middle of the road. I don't know the rest of the story. My first personal sighting occurred when I was about the age of 10. I and another girl were at Gold Coast, Queensland, and we stood outside our hotel, and it was very late at night, and we happened to see shooting straight up red, blue, green, red, blue, green, like a cigar shaped, and on the end it's flashing red, blue, green. I then had a few more UFO sightings. My next major one occurred in around, I'm trying to get 1987. I was 26, and it occurred near Garbutt Airport in Townsville. I and 30 other witnesses had just finished church. So it was about 9:30 or 10 at night, and we watched a white object zigzag. So it went this, dun, 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 sharp angles up the sky. So it zigzagged and did a sharp turn. So it'd go this way, sharp turn, zigzag, sharp turn. My next and very graphic one occurred 2001 in Canberra. We were alone, surrounded by miles and miles of pine forests. In that one, I claim to be abducted, and I've put it on YouTube before. My son verifies this because I at the time thought it was just a dream, I'm sleeping, but the light under my bedroom door turned on. I freaked and thought, oh no, they're back. My son said he watched an orb of light go from the living room down the hallway, and my dog, a Chihuahua, freaked. He was so petrified, my son and this dog, and they were at the other part of the house and came to wake me up and I realized I really had been abducted, and I'd been taken out on a little typical saucer, and I went to a reddish planet. My next sighting occurred 2012 with my husband at Lake Indoon, where we saw first it looked like a bonfire over the other side of the lake, and you can't go over there. Cars are not allowed over there. There's no road over there. There's nothing. If you do Google Maps Lake Indoon, you'll see what I mean, or Google Earth Lake Indoon, you'll see what I mean. And so we were parked this side, and over the other side, the lake, we saw this bonfire suddenly take off and race towards the Indian Ocean, and next minute we watched as hundreds of what looked like first diamond car lights came down, and then next minute it turned into this massive, I thought I was in Hollywood, typical saucer, metallic saucer with a red and two white lights going around. The saucer divided in two and started to come across the lake. I got out of the car and flashed a torch at it, and my torch had a red, like infrared, and I flashed at it. As soon as I flashed my light at the UFO, the lights went out. I don't know what happened next, except that I was back in the car, still watching for hours, lights descending. I believe, though, that that was a secret testing by the United States of America. The other incidences I really believe were alien. That Lake Indoon, I believe, is a secret place where the Americans were testing, and I happened to see something I shouldn't see. So I don't believe that was alien. The next time I saw a UFO, I was in Gympie, and it was during COVID. And I know it was a UFO because no planes were allowed to fly. Year 2020, I looked up and it was a white light. It lasted a few minutes and it was gone. The last time I saw a UFO was Boxing Day 2023. I was at my son's and it was 8 p.m. My son is North Brisbane. I just happened to walk out roughly around about 8 p.m. and I saw Venus and I saw a white, what I first thought was a star, just as bright. And then it started moving, and next minute it had covered half the sky in about 5 minutes. I screamed at my son to come and look at it, but he was busy making pancakes, and I think they thought I was watching shooting stars. Shooting stars, I know what shooting stars are. I know what meteorites are. So again, I believe I saw another alien UFO. Now, what do I believe? I believe there are aliens. I don't know how many species there are. Do I believe they're outer space? No. I believe this is a spiritual connection. This is paranormal. I even believe the UFOs themselves are entities. That's why when we all take pictures, they come out fuzzy, they come out and all sorts of things. And I think these entities like to play tricks. So for me, a UFO would be a flying saucer. So they would show me either a light or a UFO. For someone else who thinks that UFOs are cigars, they would show them a cigar. But it's very interesting to note that most of the UFO reportings in Australia have been flying saucers. So, I have seen many paranormal events, and I could not have mistaken it for the moon. The moon doesn't travel across the sky in 5 minutes, nor does a star. Yes, we have meteorites, but you see a tail. These white lights were just like a little white light, and it would move so quickly, or they would change angles at impossible. I also forgot to tell you that before Lake Indoon, 2012 at Cleveland, my husband and I also saw another UFO, and it was again the typical white light. When it's a white light, it means it is so far away. So the very real UFOs I have seen have been at Canberra, and it was a tiny UFO. And how did I fly it, do you ask? Telepathically. It was just inside it. There was nothing. It was just 1 minute we were in, next minute I went to this planet. Also, the alien who appeared to me told me that he was in the form of a hologram, yeah. And I said, I want to see your real form. And he said, no, I am so repulsive, I would scare you. He said, you humans have it wrong. You think if you see something beautiful, it's inherently good, where something that is repulsive, it is ugly. And my son and I always laugh about this and say that maybe the angels, or the ones who are good or are meant to save us, are like cockroaches, and you have to put one of their, oh no, don't go there, you know, one of their things down your mouth, and we bring you love. And I want to point this out. Why are aliens insectoids? I don't believe in the tall whites. I think that's BS. But anyway, other people do. Why are they? Anyway, they are humanoid, either reptilian, insectoids. Why don't you see a nice cuddly teddy bear alien, or a dog looking alien, or a cat looking alien? Why is it something we find or we fear? And I'll leave that with you. This video is well over, I didn't realize it had gone on for so long. Let me know, have you seen a UFO? Let me know, what do you think a UFO is? Do you think that they are from outer space? And having said that, it's not that I don't believe that there isn't life on other planets. I do. But I don't believe that we are being visited. I think these are interdimensional entities, and I don't believe that most of them have our best interests at heart. I believe very much that we are seeing how we see everything else. So we think we are on top of the food chain, and I think aliens see us like, you know, below. We're little cockroaches to aliens, and so we should be. We are, the way we treat this earth, we are parasites. The number of species that has gone extinct because of us, and the fact that we don't trust, and we have a nuclear weapon build up, the, you know, mutually assured destruction, and we have wars, and our natural reptilian brain is hate, fear, and mistrust. No wonder aliens think so little of us. I think so little of us as people. We need to do better, folks, and we're not getting any better. I did a video about this before. We are not getting any better. We're not. Okay, we are meant to be flawed. I agree. Humans are meant to be flawed. It is what it is. And we've only got what we've been given, and we can only do the best we can do. What I'm saying is I'd like to see us do, because we have good and bad qualities, I'd like to see us advance more on with the good qualities. Do you understand? All right, so let me know below, where do you think the aliens are from? Have you had an abduction experience? And I also want to throw in there, I've had sleep paralysis as well. So I'm throwing in cryptids, ghosts, entities, and aliens all in the one basket. All right, this video is done. I love you guys. Remember, every life is precious. Cherish every moment. Love the best you can. Goodbye from me.